Hey, you guys, welcome back to High School Days. My name is Nomlindi, and if this is your first time here, what is High School Days all about? So, we're a channel that focuses on high school experiences, varsity experiences, and the in between. So today I really want to talk about something that I've seen happen a lot. I didn't know it was a thing until people started telling me their experiences and the things that they've been through or heard about varsity before they arrived here. And I really just, before you walk into varsity, there's some things that we need to talk about. Sorry, I need to have a coughing fit. There's some things that we need to talk about and clarify about varsity, about the environment there, and about the things that you've been told about varsity. Okay, let's just get there. Okay, first things first. Is that there's two extremes typically that the mindset, the view of varsity. We have people who think that varsity is just a party place, like all you do is party, and you go out and you do it's party, 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 and you don't take life seriously, and that's not what varsity is. In fact, you are going to study way more in varsity than you did in school, right? Varsity is 70% studying, like, and that's being lenient. Is you're going to do a lot of studying, but it's worth it because you're studying something that you enjoy. You're studying something that you love. But then we have the complete other extreme of people who think that varsity is impossible. Like you've been told that it's so hard, it's so difficult. I failed all my modules. I failed this, I failed that. You know what? Yeah, you're gonna see flames. And then we have people who are walking onto varsity with a mindset of defeat. Before you've even stepped into this place, you already telling yourself that you can't do it. Like, how? It's varsity. If I can tell you the truth, varsity will challenge you, but it's meant to stretch you. Varsity is hard, but it is extremely doable. Perhaps you're in a position where you've seen smarter people go into varsity and fail. And so you're thinking to yourself, if they failed and they got those marks and they achieved that much higher than me and they're smarter than me, then who am I to be walking into this environment and do well? That needs to change right now. Like that needs to change. Um that definitely needs to change. Don't let someone else's experience and journey dictate how successful you can be in yours. Like whether that person was doing outstanding in high school and they failed in varsity, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your ability. It has nothing to do with what you've been called to do, the career and your journey and your life and the lives that you are meant to impact. It has nothing to do with it, okay? Maybe they walked into the wrong career that wasn't meant for them. Secondly, alongside that mindset, those two extreme mindsets that you need to get rid out of your mind, you can do it. Let's just clarify that you can do varsity. Comparison. Comparison. The next hurdle that you have to face when you walk onto varsity, right, is comparison. So, okay, like this is a story. You sorted out, like, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. Next week, or whenever you go into varsity, you're going to step onto varsity, and there's going to be people who have done more and they know more, right? And you're going to walk into the classroom or the lecture hall, and people are raising up their hands and they seem to know what's going on, and they seem further because maybe they did AP maths and you didn't. They did advanced science and that subject wasn't available to you in school. And they did IT, advanced IT, I don't know. And you're like, look, dude, I'm not that advanced with computers and I'm studying something that requires me to be good at computers. Comparison has killed a lot of potential. It has literally destroyed people's hope and confidence. And you really need to, like, it is a trap. It is a trap. When you walk into class and you see people who seem to know more, or who seem to 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 just, they know more advanced stuff, calm down, go home, see what you need to do, see what you need to do to know more. Like, study. Maybe you'll have to study more, maybe you'll have to work a bit harder. One thing I acknowledge is that we don't all come from the same background, we don't all come from the same opportunities. We were not all given the same opportunities. So you may have to put a bit more effort in the first few months. You may have to study a bit more, um, but you can do it. You can definitely still do it. If people seem to be catching things faster than you, seem to be learning and processing things faster than you, I don't want to let that. Don't let that intimidate you. Don't let that intimidate you. Especially if you're going into fields like engineering, man. Like, people just seem to be catching things faster, or but I just don't let that intimidate you. Um, doesn't mean that you were not meant to be an engineer. You can still very well be an engineer. Um, you've got what it takes, and if it means you're gonna work a bit harder, you're gonna spend a bit more time on certain things, then do so. But this can still be your thing. The third thing I need to talk about is first semester failure. Um, so because you're moving from matric into university, we were warned, when I entered varsity. There was warning and rumor that, I don't even want to call it a warning, but we were told that, look, don't be surprised if you fail the first of your assessments. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you came from high school, you were getting 80s and 90s, and your first test in varsity, you get 38%, right? Don't be surprised. That's what happens. Rather than look at it as direction. It is direction. It is saying something to you. When if you fail your first test, it is saying the way that you've been doing things needs to slightly change, right? The first semester of varsity is really going to be you getting a feel for things. Is, so how do I study this? I've got this much amount of work. How do I process it all? What suits me? What study methods suit me? Again, this is where the chop of comparison comes in. You're not going to study the same as the person next to you. You probably won't. Your focus may not be on the same modules, because some modules are easier for other people, other modules are more difficult for other people. So you might be spending time on different modules, right? But I need you, like, that first failure is typically redirection. Is, okay, what were we doing in matric? Because typically what we do is that we take the habits that we were doing in matric, and then we bring them into varsity. But what most of us did, I know what I did. Varsity was a lot of parrot. Matric was a lot of parrot learning. It was a lot of me studying there, memorizing, and then just writing whatever I did down. Um, Whereas varsity requires way more understanding. So actually understanding the work that you're doing. There will be certain modules where you need more memorization. Those study methods don't completely fly out the window, but you do need to adjust some things, right? So if you fail your first few tests, um, it simply means redirection, adjust, be flexible. What are you doing from a trick that isn't working anymore? Now here's the problem: is that if you're walking into varsity with that mindset of defeat that I was talking about earlier, and you fail your first test, it's almost going to be like confirmation, like, oh, look, I knew I couldn't do it, right? That failure is not confirmation of anything. Again, it says nothing about the potential that you have. It is your first challenge. It is saying, um adjust, right? um it is an obstacle that you have the potential and you have the talent and the skill to overcome. It is meant to stretch you, to show you how far you can go, how much more you can actually learn and know. So yeah, just take it as you go, learn from it, and you'll do better in the next assessment. first year, first semester may be a bit, but difficult. It may be a bit easy for some. Some of you will pass with no problem. Some of you will get into it, see exactly the changes that you need to make it, be like, I got it. Okay. So some of you will be like that. Others of you will take a bit longer, but eventually you will get it. And I really hope the best for you. So don't be intimidated. You will be fine, and I trust that you will succeed. Varsity is a great experience. It is where you learn a lot about yourself. It is where you explore and learn a lot about other people. It is a beautiful journey, and I really hope that you enjoy it. Right. So thank you so much for watching this video. If I said anything that you don't agree with, or you agree with, or you would like to add on, just type it in the comments below, because we're here to just help each other and help people who are coming from high school and first years to just adjust, and to make that transition and that experience far easier for them. So yeah, enjoy varsity, enjoy first year varsity, and I hope all goes well. Bye.